Your ability to build wealth like Solomon is going to be directly correlated with your ability to build a brand in 2025. It will either be your greatest asset that will pay you for years to come, even generationally, or it will be your greatest liability because while everybody else was building a brand, you stuck to what you knew instead of stepping out. And maybe you already have a brand, but you just want to make it stronger. That's what this video is for today. I'm going to give you three rules that will allow you to build a strong brand. And if you continue with it, it will build you a very, very big brand as well. Now, I don't have the biggest brand in the world, but I do have a very strong brand that has allowed me to connect with people who have 2 million followers, 7, 8. I think across the board, the biggest person that I've connected with has 10 million followers, and they actually sought after me, and some of them are even clients now. It's not because I have the biggest brand, it's because I have a very strong brand, and the three rules are what, and that's what's allowed me to do that. So the first rule that I follow is number one, if it is directly contradicting the Bible, I just don't do it. Now, that might seem like a far reach. Like, what does building brand, what does social media have to do with the Bible? It's not in the Bible. Correct. It's not in the Bible, but it is not directly contradicting the Bible, and we can draw some conclusions. The way that King Solomon got rich, I know everybody knows he was rich, but I don't think very many understand how he got rich. So I'll explain it to you. The way he got rich was he was blessed with wisdom. God came to him in his dream and said, "Ask me for anything. Because of the faith of your father, I will give it to you." Solomon did not ask for wealth. What he did ask for was wisdom to lead God's people well. And because of that, God said, well, because you didn't ask for wealth and fame, I'm going to give you the wisdom that you asked for, but I'm also going to give you what you didn't ask for, which was the wealth and the fame. But the wisdom is what allowed him to build that wealth. It wasn't just given to him. It was the wisdom that allowed him to build the wealth. With that wealth, and you can read all of this in First Kings, with the wisdom he was given, King Solomon ran his kingdom very, very well, and other kings and queens started to notice. They noticed that Solomon was doing something different, something very, very well, and so they came to learn from him. So he was essentially a consultant for other kings and queens. So he made a lot of money from that. If you go and read it, how much money and gold, well, not money, but gold, that was their form of currency back then, how much gold and other resources the Queen of Sheba sent him. He was a very, very rich man, and his kingdom was very, very rich. But how he took it a step further, I believe, was social media, or at least their version of social media. These kings and queens, not just the Queen of Sheba, saw how well his advice was working, and so they actually wanted their people to learn from him as well. Now, this is where we need to draw some conclusions. All that is explained in the Bible. I didn't make up any of that. You can go read that for yourself. We have to draw some conclusions. These people, Solomon wasn't meeting with every single person in his kingdom as well as every single person one on one in everybody else's kingdom. He wasn't doing that. It's not possible. So, what he was likely doing was holding very large seminars, speaking to people in coliseums. That was their version of social media. I mean, that's what they had to do. So what he did was he went from having a one-on-one conversation with his target market, which was, the kings and queens, to having one conversation with many people at one time. That is social media. That's all you're worried about. You're having right now I'm having one conversation with you, but many people might see this. I didn't need to speak to every single one of them individually. I'm leveraging social media to have one conversation with you as well as many other people at one time. That is social media. Because and this is how he got so rich, each of those people brought a gift as well. And if you ever wonder, he was worth trillions of dollars. That's the estimation. The last thing that I saw was he was estimated to be about $2.1 trillion net worth. And it tells us in 1 Kings chapter 10 that silver was so plentiful among his people that they treated it as common stone. They stopped counting it. They had so much gold that silver was a common stone for them. That's how rich they were, and that is the power of branding. These people sought after Solomon because of the brand that he was able to build. It traveled by word of mouth, and his reputation, his brand, is what brought them to him. That's social media. So if you're wondering, why do I need to build a brand? One, I mean, I've been able to connect with people with, again, across the board, 10 million followers. I right now have about 90,000 if we count TikTok, but that might get banned. So maybe we're starting over. But I'm still connecting with people because I have a strong brand. That's what these rules are applying. If it contradicts the Bible, don't do it. Everything is in the Bible. If you're ever curious, guess what? Go read the Bible. So Solomon got this wealthy because of the brand that he built. And it literally tells us the Queen of Sheba sought after him because of the reputation that he had. And when you build a brand in 2025, your brand is not just going to disappear. It will carry through with you, obviously, to 2026, 2027, 2028, if you do it properly, if you do it sustainably. And that's what this video is for, because the goal of marketing is to put yourself in a position that you are attracting the right market. Not everybody's going to be your right market, but for King Solomon, the kings and queens, that was his right market. Social media was attracting everybody else to maximize his potential. He was giving one message to many people at one time. That's what your brand is supposed to do. The right people will filter themselves in. And that is actually the second rule. Okay. The second rule that I follow, rule number 2, is to speak with the right people. The rule is, if people are not listening to you, stop talking to them. And again, I said if it contradicts the Bible, I don't do it. So where does this come from? This actually comes from Matthew 7:6. Matthew 7:6, it tells us, don't waste what is holy on those who are unholy, and don't throw your pearls to pigs. The pig will destroy the pearl, it will trample the pearl, then turn around and attack you. Now, what that means, well, actually, maybe I should explain what that does not mean. Is it does not mean anybody who disagrees with you is a pig. That is absolutely not what that means. Forget that out of your head. What it means is that no matter what you do for a pig, all a pig wants to do is eat, right? So no matter how valuable the pearl was that you gave it, it couldn't eat the pearl, so it stomped on the pearl, destroyed it, and then it actually turned around and attacked you for you giving it something so useless because it couldn't eat it. All a pig wants to do is eat. If you know you have a good message, if you know you're on the right mission, if you're aligned with God, you don't need to convince people that you have a good message and that you're aligned with God. If they don't want to listen, you don't need to talk to them, because enough people will sit down, take some interest, and actually come to you. That's what a brand is. It's about attraction. And there's another passage, I don't have it memorized, maybe I should have done that before the video, but it just came to my head. There's another passage where Jesus is telling his disciples, go into this town and knock on each of their doors and ask them if you can come in and share the good news. If they say no, move to the next. Right? Our jobs are not, your job as a business owner, as a brand builder, is not to convince anybody to want or need you. It is to provide value so that they know something that they already want, you can provide. That's all it is. And if you spend time trying to convince anybody that they should need you, you're wasting your time, because there are people who already know that they need you. They just can't find you right now. And you're spending time talking to user 5678 who just called you dumb. And by the way, that I just posted a thread that got like 500 comments, and my favorite one, they were mostly negative. My favorite one was from some guy, user 5678, whatever his name was. You're dumb, right? It's not even creative, but you have to be willing to take that on to be able to just move past it, because they're not going to help you. You're not going to help them. They don't want to be helped. So move past it. Find the person who actually wants to be helped. Don't waste what is holy on those who are unholy. Don't throw your pearls to pigs, because all a pig wants to do is eat, right? That is the second rule. You need to view branding as a filter. So for me and my business, our team, we have a lot of filters. Okay, so when we bring people on, we educate people on different wealth principles and strategies. That's our business, but we also train others to provide that same education for others. But not everybody's a good fit. So we have different filters to filter the wrong people out and the right people in. We give everybody a chance, but it's not a good fit for everybody. So you have to filter out the wrong people. You don't want the wrong people to stay. Again, maybe I should have looked this up, but it's just coming to mind. There was somebody, there was a big CEO, it might have been Apple, where they were telling, where someone like Yahoo, I forget, but they were saying the CEO wanted to provide all this training. We need to make sure our employees are the greatest employees in the world. And the person he was talking to was like, well, what if they leave? We just trained them for nothing. And the CEO was like, well, what if they stay? That's even worse. They're going to destroy our business. You don't need everybody. You just need the right people. And so when I'm telling you, you don't need the biggest brand, you just need a strong brand. That's what I'm talking about. You don't need the biggest brand in the world in order to connect with other people. You just need a strong one. And the bigger brands will actually look for you. Okay, so that's the second rule. If people are not listening to you, stop talking to them. The third rule, and this one should help you get over the hump of how do I start, or where can I start? What do I do? Instead of trying to create content, just document what you're doing. Rule number 3, don't create, just document. And this one I believe is from Gary Vee. I heard him say it, and since he said it, I've been implementing it. I mean, it's just amazing advice. You cannot, for me, okay, you cannot create all these new concepts. This is still a biblical concept. It's in Ecclesiastes. Nothing under the sun is truly new. History merely repeats itself. That's what it tells us in Ecclesiastes. So you're sitting here while everybody else is making content and you're trying to think of these brand new concepts. And so you're never getting started. You're in the paralysis analysis, or analysis paralysis, however you say it, when all you could be doing is just talking. I mean, there's 0 edits to my videos. I am only posting this because I already talked about it on a social media panel, and so it's already in my head. I didn't need to plan out anything else except for maybe the title, the thumbnail, and the hook. That was it. Just talk to the camera, document what you're doing. And the trick with this one is if you don't want your brand to take away from your business. So all you have to do is document what you're doing in your business. Get to work on your business and document it on camera. Or, I mean, on a blog if you don't want to speak, that's fine. Find another way to do it. Do it on Twitter or X or Threads. Just write. No matter what you are, if you are doing something, you have content to make. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to do all these brand new things. You just need to document what you're doing. And as long as you're doing something, you're moving your business forward, you're helping clients, then you have something to post. And for this, at least for my teammates, maybe this is a message for my teammates. If you're going to post something about like all these financial principles, just use the ones that are already there. You don't need to make up brand new strategies and like create all these different principles to help your clients. Just go help your clients and document how you did it. And that's it. That's all you got to do. That's all we do. We help people and we document how we did it. And if you just want to build a brand about building a brand, I mean, you could do that. Start with 0. That's the best advice I can give. Start with 0. And if you I could keep talking about this all day long, but honestly, I would just start rambling. So these are the 3 rules. Number 1, if it directly contradicts the Bible, just don't do it. Number 2, if people are not listening to you, stop talking to them. And number 3, don't create, just document. If you can do these things consistently and just provide value without any expectation of getting back, you will build a very, very strong brand. And instead of chasing other people, they'll come to you. By definition, if you have to chase after somebody, they are running away from you. We don't need those people if they're running away from you. Find the people who are running to you. Run as fast as you can this way, and anybody who can keep up, that is the person you want to work with. Okay, and again, I'm going to start rambling, so I'm going to end the video here. But if you want to come check out more, if you do want to come work with me, it's in the bio or caption. See, I'm used to TikTok, but we're moving to YouTube. And we'll set something up. But come check out some more videos if you're interested. Bye.